Welcome to Wellness Quarters, where wellness lives. My name is Gayle Nowak. I'm your host, Wellness for All expert leader, and communication and emotional wellness coach. The Wellness Universe is thrilled to bring you this inspiring interview series with our members as part of our Wellness for All program. We bring experiences like this to you because we believe happy, healthy, and healed humans lead to peace globally. Join us here on the second Tuesday of each month at 5 p.m. Eastern Time and the fourth Wednesday at 3 p.m. Eastern Time for a 15-minute session filled with insightful interviews, practical wellness tips from top professionals in the wellness universe. Whether you're seeking inspiration or actionable advice to enhance your well-being, Wellness Quarters is your go-to destination for support on your journey to a healthier, happier life. This pay what you can donation-based program is supported by generous viewers like you. If you'd like to donate, you can do that now, after we're done, or anytime in the future using the link that I'll post in the chat. And a special thanks to everyone who's already donated. And I'm going to put that in the chat right now. Also, at the end of our show, you'll see a pop-up to leave a rating and a review. We're grateful for yours as it helps Wellness Quarters reach more people seeking tools and practices to optimize their well-being. So today, I'm excited to bring on Desiree Scherini, and we're going to be talking about the power of thoughts. Desiree is a board-certified master transpersonal hypnotherapist and hypnosis instructor, a certified life coach, the author of the book Journey to Joy, The Written Path, and host of the show Intuitive Journey with Desiree. Also an artist, arts instructor, and certified psychic medium and intuitive tarot reader, Desiree often combines art with her intuitive trainings, focusing on the power of the heart and mind and the unseen energies around us. Welcome, Desiree.
Thank you, Gayle. It's really nice to be here. I appreciate it.
Yeah. So I'm really looking forward to our conversation. And your journey sounds incredibly diverse, blending the hypnosis and the life coaching and the arts and the intuitive practices. How did you come to realize that the heart and the mind are so interconnected in the healing process? Was there like some sort of defining moment or experience that you had that led to the work that you're doing today?
Yes, I think so. My education background was, degree in psychology, and originally I was really interested in the idea of research and very clinical stuff. As time went on, I worked with groups, alcohol, drug prevention programs, sort of stuff. Had kids, stayed home, became a professional artist and arts instructor as my second love because I could stay home with my kids and do that. And I think, there's that whole left brain, right brain kind of thing that people tend to gravitate to. And I think my appreciation for the arts or music or that creative side of me is what was more in touch with that inner world. And then when I became certified as a hypnotherapist, it kind of brought those two worlds together. Because it was, going into the mind, but not so clinically, and then follow on from that, the life coaching, and then even having so much fun with combining the arts and, the, like I say, unseen energies, the something that we just can't, put our hands on, but we know is there, all has come together.
Yeah, and I love kind of that whole brain approach and how that can really activate a more holistic path
Mm-hmm.
of healing sometimes. And I know like art therapy is something that's, I mean, it's probably been around forever, but it's definitely something that I'm seeing a lot more these days.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just curious, like, what's the connection between creative expression and the power of the mind and healing?
I think part of my aha journey about arts and the mind and therapeutic work not being separate as a personal experience was as an art instructor, noticing the benefit to how people were feeling just by doing art. that there was, they let go of anxiety and worries, and they were having a good time. And in a way that for me was like keeping with my practice of like, my goal is to have people be happy, feel
Right.
satisfied, feel really good about their lives. And that was one avenue. And so that whole left brain, right brain thing, um, when you're doing art or even writing, using your hands, it actually has a different pathway to your brain than, say, reading or talking. There's something that actually does this connection and makes synapses fire. And, I'd have to pull up some studies to say, oh, this is a real thing. But it actually connects with that subconscious mind better,
Mm.
and has that bridges, the arts, writing, creative work. It bridges the gap between the practical, rational mind and the touchy-feely part of us, that, intuitive side.
Yeah. Yeah. And I also just like the creative process in and of itself. I think that uh,
Yeah.
probably is just that natural feeling of
Mhm.
I'm creating something, and there's a sense of accomplishment and
Yes.
having fun while you're doing it. I can see how that might just be a natural sort of mood booster and open up our ways of thinking, making us a little bit more
Yes.
expansive.
Absolutely. And it's interesting in, say, focusing on the art side. One of the workshops I did was combining a guided meditation with a painting class. Okay.
Mm,
And so instead of a painting class where I'm teaching perspective and color mixing and all that
right.
sort of stuff, which is the very practical side of painting, this was, the guided meditation would each week would be paint like, in all sorts of blues, and what does blue feel like, for
Mm,
example, might have been one guided meditation, and then just set them free. And people would say, wow, I've never painted anything like this before. And they would just have so much fun moving into a new area and kind of discovering, like I say, connecting with a part of themselves that they weren't allowing before, that they felt like they had to stay inside the
yes.
lines. And this allowed them to express themselves, like you're saying, to go, wow, look what I did. I didn't even know I could do that. Um, but also, you can, for example, take a piece of artwork and it can be analyzed to read what's going on in the subconscious mind. They use this with kids sometimes. They'll have them draw a picture. What's your family? Draw a picture of yourself at home. And, certain things like the center of the page usually represents them. A house usually represents them. And how big or how small they make different elements and where they place them on the paper tells you a story about what's going on in the subconscious mind as well. I also do
Wow.
handwriting analysis. And interestingly enough, the marks that people make really can identify certain traits and characteristics. And the act of changing your handwriting can influence your behavior. It can go both ways. Isn't that interesting?
It is interesting, and I've
Yeah.
I've heard about experiences where people were asked to write with their opposite
Oh,
hand, and all kinds of and it like opened up
yeah.
their subconscious.
Hmm.
So it's so fascinating. Everything that you're talking about is so fascinating to me, and I'm curious too, as you were talking about sharing about leading people through an exercise of we're gonna focus on blue and just create with this color and see what you come up with. It's reminding me of some retreats that I've led where we've done some more creative things and how those voices come in, right?
Yeah.
Because we want to stay in the lines, right, from that
Oh,
conditioning. And I'm just curious if you use some specific tools or techniques to help people sort of shift those things, those the inner talk or the limiting beliefs
yes.
about what they're able to create.
Well, as a hypnotherapist, when I do a guided meditation, it's really like a very light hypnosis.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes depending on the individual, they might be gone. They might really go into that state of hypnosis, which is fine. And so I would always emphasize there's no wrong, and that's what's fun about creative processes. Unlike, for example, when I'm teaching perspective or make this color, make that color, you can get it wrong if you're trying to create something that's quote unquote realistic. Okay.
Right.
But when you get into creative arts or abstract or just self-expression, you can't do it wrong. And so it releases that inhibition about, is mine as good as hers, or like, are they looking at mine? And I did have one student. She couldn't break it out. She couldn't break out of it. She still, like she had a hard time releasing and just going with the flow. And so the human mind is interesting about how sometimes we want to hang on to control.
Right.
And, we need sometimes to just have a safe space to release and just allow our intuition and everything to come through and speak and give ourselves an inner world view.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that. I love that. And I totally resonate with what you're saying about like our mind or our ego, that illusion of wanting to be in control. And part of the transformational process is being able to release that, right?
Yeah.
At different periods of time. I'm very curious about the hypnosis and the mediumship and the intuitive tarot reading as well. How does that all factor in?
And once again, that is really a state of allowing.
Mm-hmm.
So as a hypnotherapist, I help my client let go, just let it all go. You don't need to be doing anything. Simply allow yourself. Just allow yourself to follow my words. Okay, that might be part of the induction. And with the mediumship or intuitive tarot reading, tarot, certain cards might mean certain things, but with reading them intuitively and then calling on that part of me to say, to know, like if I put a card down and sometimes something just comes to me, I'm like, hey, what's this mean to you? And then I might have something to share, how's this relationship happening at work right now? And they'll be like, oh yeah, that's, mediumship. It just kind of came upon me. I just started to know things or feel things and then find out they were accurate from somebody who's no longer alive. And so I studied it to figure out, what do I do with that, right? Okay, so I studied it to what's the right word? To, when I use it, to use it carefully and for the best, of whoever I'm working with. And I do appreciate being able to share something that is very comforting to someone. Right. When someone's passed on and I'm able to do that, that's a really great feeling that they're relieved. But it's just like that openness, that allowing. And I think everybody has it. But like the lady in my art class, sometimes we're like, no, that's weird. I can't do that. We all get little somethings. Right. And most of us dismiss it instead of saying, what was that? It's like labeled as not okay or weird or imagination. And I think the more in touch an individual gets with themselves, the more open they are to receiving information from that higher frequency. It's there, but just like sound or color, we can't always see or hear everything that's on the frequency. We only get this much. We can see from this color to that color, but we know there's colors way beyond that. We can hear from here to here, but we know there are sounds way beyond that are measurable, but we don't hear them unless we allow it.
Yeah, I love that. I always find that explanation of the different sound frequency or the different color frequency really helps people understand that it's like, it really does matter what you're tuning into, how you experience, how you have your experience, or experiences in the world. And it sounds like the power of your thoughts is sometimes a journey of moving from the judgments or the skepticism into curiosity and
Yes.
openness. Yeah.
Yeah. Just open up your mind. And also, one of my main points I like to make with my clients is to have choice over your thoughts. And what you choose to, and this is not, I didn't make this up, what you choose to notice or pay attention to is what you're going to notice or pay more attention to.
Right.
Okay. So if you're finding you're feeling negative or drawn down or angry, just turn your view. Turn your view just a little bit to something at least neutral. Think puppies. you know, because, and also again with the idea of being able to connect or to open up to a broader vision of what you're capable of or what's out there around you, is to view it, to allow those thoughts to go, what if? Yeah.
Yeah. Such a great question. So, for anyone who's listening and tuning in, if they want to learn more about you and your work, what's the best way to connect with you?
My main website is www.trans, as in transpersonal, transhypnotherapy, TRANS hypnotherapy.com. And actually, if you just Google my name, Desiree Scherini, everything will pop up, and probably some things I don't want to pop up, but you'll find everything about me. And also my Wellness Universe profile will also lead you to all of my different sites.
Beautiful. Well, thank you so much, Desiree, for sharing time and space and
Thank
energy
you,
with
Gayle.
us. And thanks to everyone joining us live, everyone watching the replay. We'd love to see you for our next show on next Wednesday, November 27th at 3 p.m. Eastern Time with Angela Medway Smith for Everyone Can Channel Healing Energy. Until then, be well, everyone.